They say that every people has their own folktales and legends. Folktales are stories passed down orally through generations of a community. They serve as a tool for teaching moral lessons to children and instilling cultural values in them. And one thing you will notice about these stories is that they all have happy endings, because when we lived in tribes, if the hero didn't triumph over the villain, or the good guys didn't win, it would mean certain death for them. So you learn from their story and apply it to your life so you do not end up like the characters who got eaten by lions. I grew up listening to a lot of Nigerian folk tales, but today I'll be sharing with you a folk tale from northwest Cameroon in West Africa. It's a beautiful story, and you definitely want to stick around for the lessons at the end. Before we begin, please take the time to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon so you can be notified whenever I upload a new video. Now let's jump right into the story. Long ago, in a village in northwest Cameroon, there was a woman who had 3 sons. She loved all her sons dearly and prayed that God blessed each one of them and made them successful hunters so that they could protect themselves and their families. Now, many years went by, and the boys grew older. The first son's name was Mbu, the second son's name was Ndam, and the youngest son's name was Tabe. Mbu was strong and brave, Ndam was quick and agile, and Tabe was intelligent and wise. Although they were different, they shared a strong bond of brotherhood, and they often went hunting together as a team. One day, while they were out hunting, Mbu suggested that they venture deeper into the forest than they had ever gone before. He said, "Why do we always stay in the same part of the forest? Let's go beyond that river and see what's there." So the 3 brothers continued deeper into the forest until they came across an area they had never seen before. Suddenly, they heard a loud roar and saw a ferocious lioness coming towards them. The lioness looked hungry and dangerous, and the brothers knew they had to do something to defend themselves. Quickly, Mbu pulled out his spear and charged at the lioness, but she easily dodged his attack and knocked him to the ground. Then Ndam jumped into action and tried to stab her with his spear, but the lioness was too quick for him and sent his spear flying away. Tabe, who had been watching his brothers fight, knew he had to come up with a plan fast. Thinking quickly, he grabbed some leaves and started making a strange sound. The lioness stopped attacking and turned her head towards Tabe. Tabe kept making the noise and slowly backed away from the lioness, leading her deeper into the forest. The lioness followed closely behind him, and after a while they came across a tall tree. Tabe climbed up the tree as fast as he could, and the lioness, unable to climb, sat down at the base of the tree and started roaring in frustration. From up in the tree, Tabe could hear the lioness pacing back and forth and occasionally letting out a frustrated roar. After a while, the noise died down, and Tabe carefully climbed down the tree. As he approached the lioness, he noticed that she wasn't just any ordinary lioness. Her fur was a beautiful golden color, and her eyes sparkled like jewels. And then Tabe noticed a small bird perched on her head. The bird opened its beak and spoke in a clear voice. "You can call me the Bird of Wisdom. This is my mother, the Golden Lioness, and we have been waiting for you." Tabe was surprised to hear a bird talking to him, but he managed to respond. "Waiting for us? Waiting for what?" The bird replied, "We have been waiting for someone worthy to solve our problem. Every day my mother is tormented by a terrible pain in her side, and we believe that only you can help her." Tabe asked, "How can I help her?" And the bird said, "If you can bring us the fruit of the baobab tree that grows beyond the 7 hills, my mother will be healed." So Tabe thanked the bird and lioness for their trust and set off on his journey. He walked for many hours until he finally saw the 7 hills in the distance. With renewed determination, he began to climb the hills. As he climbed higher and higher, the air became thinner and colder. Just when he thought he couldn't go any further, he reached the top of the last hill and saw the wondrous fruit of the baobab tree. It shimmered like gold and seemed to glow with a soft light. Carefully, he picked the fruit and placed it in his bag. Then he turned around and started his long journey back home. When Tabe returned to the lioness and the bird, they were overjoyed, and the Golden Lioness ate the fruit. Immediately, the pain that had been tormenting her for so long disappeared. Overjoyed at being healed, the Golden Lioness wanted to reward Tabe for his bravery and kindness. She told him, "You have shown great courage and wisdom in helping me. I am very grateful to you. Ask for anything you want, and it shall be given." Tabe thought for a moment. He could ask for gold or jewels, or maybe even a beautiful wife. But instead, he asked for something else. He said, "I don't need gold or jewels. Instead, I want your strength and power." The lioness was surprised by his request, but she was happy to grant it. She told him, "As you wish," and transferred all her strength and power to Tabe. Suddenly, Tabe felt a surge of energy coursing through his veins. He was stronger and more powerful than he had ever been before. He thanked the Golden Lioness and prepared to return home. The Golden Lioness told him, "Before you go, I want you to know that you now have the ability to shapeshift into any animal you desire." Tabe was surprised and a little scared, but he accepted his new abilities. The Golden Lioness warned him, "Use your powers wisely and always remember to be kind and helpful to others." Then Tabe bid farewell to the Golden Lioness and the Bird of Wisdom and started his journey home. On his way back, he came across the river that marked the boundary between his father's territory and the outside world. But now that he had the power to shapeshift, he no longer feared crossing the river. As he approached the riverbank, he noticed that his brothers, Mbu and Ndam, were struggling in the water. They had been trying to cross the river and were exhausted and afraid. Without hesitation, Tabe dove into the water and with his newfound strength easily carried them on his back to safety. When they reached the shore, Mbu and Ndam were overjoyed to see Tabe. They had thought they were going to drown, and now he had saved their lives. But they were also curious about how he had become so strong and why he had been gone for so long. Tabe, knowing that he couldn't hide his adventures forever, decided to tell his brothers everything that had happened in the forest. Now, when Tabe revealed his shape-shifting abilities to Mbu and Ndam, they were both amazed and a little jealous. They had been hunting for many years, and never had they been granted such a powerful gift. But Tabe, being the wise young man that he was, understood their feelings. He knew that they needed to experience the world for themselves in order to understand its wonders. So he convinced his brothers to accompany him on another adventure. Together, the three brothers set off into the forest, and when they reached the river, Tabe told his brothers to close their eyes and hold on tight. With that, he dived into the water and swam across to the other side. When they opened their eyes, they found themselves on the other side of the river, safe and sound. Mbu and Ndam were amazed by this new experience and eager to see what else they could discover. And so they continued their journey together, exploring the vast wilderness and learning about the world around them. Through their adventures, they learned the importance of brotherhood, trust, and the value of experiences over material possessions. And as they grew older, they continued to explore, always remembering the lessons they had learned on their journey together. At the end of the story, we learned some important lessons. 1. Curiosity and bravery can lead to great rewards. 2. It's important to use our natural abilities to the best of our advantage. 3. We should be willing to help those in need, even if they are different from us. 4. It's essential to appreciate the natural world around us and respect all living beings. And most importantly, 5. No matter how different we are, we should treat others with kindness and understanding. Thank you for watching and listening to this episode. What did you think of the story? Do you have any folk tales you'd like me to share with you? Leave a comment below. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you never miss an upload. Until next time, stay curious and keep learning.